Stephen Hassan, who studies cults. It's really interesting because when he was 19 years old, back in the 70s, he had just broken up with his girlfriend and he was really depressed. And some attractive women came and sat down with him at this park bench that he was sitting at and talked him into joining their group. Well, the group ended up being the Moonies, which is a cult. And during that time, he was deprived of protein. He was deprived of sleep. He was kept working all the time. And he did it with joy because he felt like he was supporting this bigger movement. He got into an accident because he was so sleep deprived. And he was running around working for this organization 24/7. And he got in an accident and ended up in the hospital. And that gave his family an opportunity to come in and start talking to him. And he became deprogrammed, so to speak, from that cult. And now he has a PhD in this kind of study, and he does all of this work around how does cult thinking actually work. He said, first you have to unfreeze your brain, then you have to input your stuff into it, and then you got to freeze it back up again. So if you want to avoid becoming a victim of this kind of cult manipulation, be aware that what they'll do is they'll exploit your need for belonging. They will give you a really simple answer to very complex stuff that's happening in the world, and they will give your life a sense of meaning. And I think there's another aspect that I find really fascinating. I started getting fed on TikTok on my personal account, QAnon people. And like this one lady had this video that she said, she loves Poppy being Trump. And the QAnon image of who he is that he's out there hunting down pedophiles on behalf of, to save the world, to save young girls, which is probably the opposite of what he's actually been doing all of his life. There's a lot of evidence that says that he was, first of all, he was Jeffrey Epstein's friend. Anyway, so this woman was saying that Poppy just posted a Truth Social where he talked about how bad Adam Schiff is. So Adam Schiff is a senator from California. Trump doesn't like him because Adam Schiff is always going after him. And she said he spelled Schiff Schiff. Adam Schiff's actual name is spelled Schiff. And I think Trump did that because, one, he doesn't spell very well, but two, he likes to call him Adam Shit, right? And so that was his way of just, digging him or whatever. Anyway, she said he left off the C. We all know what that means. And then all the comments were like fire and hearts and like nobody ever said that they know what that C, that missing C meant. But this is the other way that they get you. They create this mystery and then they give you what they call breadcrumbs. What does the missing C mean? And what that does in your brain is it gives you a dopamine hit. It's just like doing a video game where you get the hit and then you move on to the next thing. That same feeling. And they are getting that done to their brains over and over and over again. And I find that really, really sick.
So what about the Epstein files?
So the Epstein files are that thing that it is the ultimate dopamine hit because that what they're waiting for is something called the storm. And the storm, as I understand it, is a time when all of those people that were the lefties, the deep state people, are going to be exposed for being part of this Epstein thing. And they are going to go to Guantanamo Bay. They're going to be, there's going to be a trial and they will be executed. And that is extremely exciting in terms of people feeling like there's some justice and finally they're going to expose this deep state that has been doing all these terrible things to children. I think there's a lot of sincerity in the desire for justice. Would suspect that for a lot of people, they have been victimized in that way as children. So within every conspiracy are some grains of truth. But what's interesting about this is that the truth has been buried in the middle of a political message, and inside that political message is that Trump is actually the one who's saving everybody and making the world safe for children. The QAnon gives you a sense of belonging, gives you very black and white answers. There are evil people that are drinking the blood of children, and Trump is going to save us from it. And then it gives your life meaning because people have been in it for a long time. They have been part of the group of people that are trying to save the world's children and make the world safe for children again. And that is very, very horrible to think that people have been manipulated.
So who benefits from manipulating these people?
That's a great question.